All right, I'm going to grab... Mythgard had their first Worlds qualifier tournament over the weekend, so I'm going to grab a deck list from their top 8 to start. It was a blue-orange mid-range deck that looked pretty reasonable. We played purple-yellow the other day from that. Merchant did one of his "Is it good?" reviews on Magic Legends. The short answer was no. Yep. How was Trickery? It was better than I was expecting it to be, but I also wouldn't say I think it's more than a meme at this point. Definitely meme adjacent. It does not relocate. Mythgard, for those that haven't seen it before, is a fully digital card game by an indie company called Rhino Games. They have a staff of like 3 people, or staff of like 9 people, less than a dozen people working on the game. It does a number of things mechanically that are very innovative. The number one thing that it does that's fantastic and differentiates it from a lot of other card games is it plays out to a board with a positional element. So each player's board is a 7-row grid, and attackers and blockers care about where they are on that grid. From a deck building perspective, Mythgard's probably the only digital card game I've ever touched that can rival Magic in terms of deck building depth. Mythgard has 6 colors in it, and you can mix and match colors in your decks however you want. There's no resources that go in the deck like Magic, but you can take any card in your hand at any point and turn it into a resource. This hand's super awkward with nothing that costs less than 3. A little unfortunate. We have a number of 1s and 2s in this deck. So, for example, this is a 7-drop. I'm probably not going to want this till much later in the game, so I'm going to turn this into a resource. And when I burn a card, it doesn't just go away, it goes back into my deck. And you can see here on the left side, I have an in-game deck tracker. You can see my Angel is in my deck, and it has an orange dot telling me that it's been burned already. One of the balancing things this game does that I really like from a design perspective is you'll notice every card in my hand has a number of dots in the top left corner of it, and those dots not only indicate the rarity of the card, but they also indicate how many copies you can play of that card in your deck. So for example, this 1-drop I just drew has 4 dots in it. It's a common, so I can play 4 copies of this. However, Braggy here is a mythic, so I can only have 1 copy of Braggy in my deck. And now, if I want to play this second card out here, it costs 1 total resource and 1 orange gem. So if I want to be able to play this, I need to burn an orange card this turn. I'm going to go ahead and burn this one, I think. I want to be able to attack down their Tree of Life next turn, so I'm going to deploy both of these over here. This board position is only threatened by these 2 spots. D9, I don't think published his review as a separate video. It was linked in the subs Discord. Someone pulled it out in there. So when I attack... So the deck thing on the left half of the screen is controllable on your end. That's a Twitch extension. You should be able to click a button to minimize it if you're on PC. It lets you mouse over the cards in my deck, though, and see what I'm playing. You can also export the code from there. You should also be able to mouse over cards in my hand and stuff. So I have to attack this. I can't attack their life tool directly, so this is not like Hearthstone. You can't just go face if something is blocking you. However, if this unit was like down over here, I would attack their face because I wouldn't be in a spot where this is threatening. Now, I probably want to start burning some blue cards to to get some blue resources. I'm going to burn this. And now I can't play this 3-drop because it requires blue. But I can play this 3-drop because I have orange. So there's not resource variance in this game like in Magic, where you draw a random number of resources, but there is some variance in which colors of cards that you draw. So deck building has a lot of decisions to make where you don't decide how many like lands you play, for example, but you'll frequently want to be thinking about, okay, what's my ratio of blue cards to orange cards, or like blue to orange to purple if you're playing a multicolored deck, etc. This card's a good example of Mythgard's resource working a little bit different than Magic as well. So I can just spend orange thresholds to give this extra attack until end of turn, which is neat. So not actual resources, but just unused thresholds. So this can attack here and kill it. You can see when I mouse over it here, it shows me that this is about to die. And then this can attack their face because there's no longer a blocker, so there's -1 of their life total. I think I want to just go ahead and play this out as a 4-2. And now, at this point, it looks like I'm probably the beatdown here. My opponent's deck's looking pretty slow and controlling. So I'm going to go ahead and spread my units out here a little bit. So this way my opponent can't put down a single blocker to block everything off here. So when you're taking an aggressive role in a matchup in Mythgard, you want to spread your units out more so they're harder for the opponent to block with a single unit. And when you're taking a defensive role, you want to play more to the middle so you cover more of the lanes they could be attacking from. Mythgard is the type of game that mid-range decks tend to be very reasonable in large part because of the burning mechanic. So when you can take cards that aren't useful in a given situation and turn them into a resource, you're not stuck with like this wrong half problem like mid-range decks frequently have in games like Magic. I'm gonna burn. I want to play the Giant Stairway here. This is what's called a lane enchantment. And a lane enchantment occupies a single spot and gives you a bonus there. So this, now whatever minion I have in this lane here will be +3/+3 while it's in this lane. Opponent not really doing a whole lot here, it looks like. See if they're able to get something down to stabilize the board a little bit here. So this is another position matters card. So this card says deal 3 damage to minions that threaten it when it comes into play. So it dealt 3 to this and 3 to this one here. Go ahead and hit their face here. And we actually have a really solid turn this turn. So sidecar here has rush, and it gives minions adjacent to it that cost 5 or less rush as well. So I can put this here and smack them for 5 right away. Rush is haste, they can attack the first turn. And then I can eager recruit here and hit their face, and then I can burn this and drop my Rebel Rough Rider here, and I can use her activated ability with my 2 leftover orange points here to make her 4. I can put them to 1. And my opponent didn't really, I wonder if my opponent's draw was awkward or if their deck's just not built very well. We can actually, so to show off some of the technical sweetness that Mythgard has, let's take a look at what deck my opponent was playing to see if they were unlucky or if their deck's just built kind of weird. So Mythgard has full spectator mode as well as a full replay system. So if I go to my profile here and click history, I can see this game I just got done playing a minute ago, and I can hit watch game. And when I pull up my previous game, the deck tracker on the right over here is going to show me my opponent's entire deck list. Yeah, and it looks like my opponent might be my opponent's probably just a newer player. Looks like, you can see here, it looks like they have a lot of one-ofs in their deck list. The green dot is how many of the cards, that card that they have, so they only have 2-ofs of a couple of cards. Okay, actually, and we can look at their profile too, view profile. Yeah, their current rank is silver 1, so we got paired from gold 1 down to silver 1. So probably a little bit newer player that's not quite familiar with deck building things. Yeah, this Mythgard is the most feature complete digital card game that exists that's been put together by a group of 9 people. It has an in-game tournament mode, which is great. There aren't any previously done tournaments you like, but like you can join in here and like it shows the brackets in client and stuff like that. Just everything. Yeah, it puts every other game on the market to shame in terms of features. And the gameplay is very reasonable too. The positional element of the gameplay and the deck building depth, both are really good. Also, while you're in the queue, usually queues pop in less than a minute. You can click around and do other stuff in client. I like picking through the gallery because the art IP in this game is great and has a great I don't think I've seen this one before. It's like a Candyland racetrack. The range on the art IP is really, really good as well. I think this is a command. Aha, yeah, there's a website that has deck lists that are just core set cards on it. So if you're checking it out with the free core set codes, you can build some of those. We're still missing 2 of the colors. We should get those hopefully before the end of the month. Had a little bit of a delay on that. All right, so burn this. Now, you'll notice I'm on the draw this game, and I've got this Leprechaun's coin to make an extra mana, similar to kind of Hearthstone's coin. Not every deck in Mythgard has the same on the draw bonus. So this path that I haven't talked about over here is a deck building decision that you make that gives you a different bonus when you're going second, as well as impacts your starting life total and gives you another effect. So Rainbow's End, for example, this deck that we're playing is very enchantment focused. So at the end of my turn, if there's an enchantment on top of my deck, I draw it. So if you noticed, at the end of last turn, I drew this Arctic Pyre for free because it was an enchantment on top of my deck. Now, this card's super annoying. It says returns to their hand at the end of their turn. So like, this basically just gets to eat my thing here, which is kind of blah. I think I just pass. I don't think there's any reason to like take that trade. I can make them do it. We'll get this back at end of turn. That's really gross. They have 2 of them. It's very good against my deck full of small things that play to the board. Huh? So this creates a Pride of the Palace, which removes all abilities. So I think it turns it into a 4/4. I think I actually want to coin this out so I can Pride one of these. I don't think I'm getting through 2 of these 2/1s. We don't yet, Beansy. Hopefully soon. And again, top card of my deck was an Arctic Pyre there, so we drew it into the turn for free with our path. Like many of these digital games, your hand size maxes at 10. However, it's not like Runeterra or Hearthstone where if you go to draw a card and you can't, and you have 10 already, it burns it off. You discard at end of turn like Magic. I don't think this deck has Seal in it. Take a look. Yeah, there's no Seal of Exile in here. The Born Again is very good against what our deck is doing. Okay, so this card doesn't take damage from spirits. So this turns the thing you're transforming into a spirit. So we can turn this into a 4/4, and then we can eat it. So that gets rid of that one at least. Yeah, it's a tough, using pride on that really sucks. I agree. That does not feel good. Wiry Trickster, in a way, kind of answers this for a while. So this, I pick one of their things hidden, and then if it goes to attack, it would lose to attack and gain fragile. So obviously they know I did it there. I think we're just trading this off at this point. I drop parry over here. See what we find. To draw a card and then Divination 3. And then Divination stacks a card on top of my deck. So I can stack this Knoll of Conquest and guarantee draw it in a turn, which is great. What do I want to burn here? I'm going to burn the Horn, I think. We'll go ahead and drop Eager Recruit over here.
Reporting.
She does have a very big gun. You're not wrong.
Odin owns you all.
It's actually a pretty good draw. So I could go ahead, and this does 2 damage to all my opponent's stuff. So I play this, and it clears out this.
Yes, brilliant.
And then this can trade here. And this can hit them, and then I can burn something to drop Paris Recruit over here. We can trade with that.
Do we have a mission?
Nice. Hit another enchantment here off the top. Might be able to grind through this 2-1. Our deck's generating a pretty decent amount of card advantage, and Giant's Stairway will let us punch through it a little bit nicely. Ooh, Forked Lightning's pretty good. Maybe should have taken this, and yeah, I think my positioning was wrong because they could have been playing Forked Lightning. I probably should have put my 1/1 over here to avoid that.
Do we have a mission?
This gives me 2 units. I'm gonna hold on to that for now. So let's play this out. Over here.
This is my weapon.
And we can put another Arctic Pyre down over here.
Hello.
Again, spreading these out so they're not close enough to get got by Forked Lightning. I guess deploying like this means if they have a Thunderclap, we get got, because it does 2 to all of our stuff, regardless of positioning. That card's very strong. When it comes into play, they get to pick something back up out of their discard pile, and it can't take more than 4 damage inside of a single combat. Huh? So I could do this here, and that goes to 4. And that gets fragile. And then I can play this here, and it has rush. Oh, this has rush too, even. 2 damage to minions that threaten this. Isn't warded, right? Then I can put this here.
Yes.
Oh, this would have finished it anyways, right? Yeah, that was a mistake. That was silly. I would have been able to attack them. I technically missed 3 points of damage here. Wow, I'm surprised that we're grinding through this board again. A lot of good card advantage. Our path drawing us a lot of good stuff is definitely helpful.
Halt.
This game has a ton of strategic complexity. Like it feels very close to chess in a lot of ways, the games that you play. So this gives things next to it rush. So I can play the Giant Stairway here. I can play Rebel Rough Rider here. And then she has Overrun, so I give her another pump up here, and then Crunch you, hit you for a bunch. Hit you down to 6. I'm at 18. I think we just passed, right? 0 power. This card gives you so much quick closing power. You gotta let them know how we feel, right? Yeah, get that sidecar action going. Any chance to Triforge today? Yeah, maybe. I think we're gonna play this for at least the first segment. Might do some Triforge after. It's 2-0 and Defender on my turn. Yep. They need to slide this down over here, right?
Nice.
So I can use my power here to make these trade. And then I can give this fragile one, which lets me hit them for 3. Yeah, it does give agile. Oh, could I have agiled this one? Maybe. But this was giving +1 attack. Like my bonuses were coming off of the enchantment, so if I was giving something agile. I didn't count the agile. I think they were dead regardless, right? Because I was gonna hit them here, and then I could double drop my blue enchantments here that make the 2-drop and crunch into here and then hit them with this. I think that was lethal. Get how eager our recruits are, Chip. An occupying and adjacent minion deals combat damage. Enemy player deal 2 more combat damage. Cute. I'm gonna burn that to start though. We're probably playing defense against most decks to start with Sunken Acolyte. And honest. Hopefully they don't have a way to kill this and level this up. So I think we burn this and go 2-2-1-2-1 over here. This thing has an energy mechanic, which means it slowly ticks down. And when it gets to 0, it turns into a 4-4. So if this thing survives another turn, it's going to turn into a 4-4. So ideally, one of these two things is going to get to kill this here.
Watch me fly!
Brutal.
Watch the net!
Just snowballs so hard. So I can Trickster and make sure this doesn't attack next turn. That doesn't really do anything for me in the long term, right? I guess I Trickster and Recruit here.
I have a mission.
And I hit this with this. This is going to level and make us discard a card. But then these two can trade into this next turn. And like we're trading down in terms of number of cards with this exchange now, but we're up enough cards in hand from our other things. I think that that's fine. Oh, sweet. I can coin out Giant Stairway and trade here. Nice.
Come in.
Come in.
Let's feed.
When this hits me, it turns into a 3-2 that makes me discard a card when it dies. I think I'm just going to trade off for these. I think we just like sidecar into recruit,
Do we have a mission?
trade. We're at 19, which is high-ish. Our deck doesn't really have a way to gain life, though. So it's important that we try and stabilize at a high-ish life total.
Hello. This is my weapon.
Okay, 3 drops a good draw, so next turn we could go parry plus null. Double spelling every turn from here on out is our best chance. Our opponent taking this turn to draw cards is definitely good for us. They're catching up on cards a little bit, but they're not going to be playing to the board nearly as much. God, this rush, brutal. So when this hits us, it deals 1 to all my dorks, which means they're gonna hit us for 3-6 this turn. Probably dead, honestly. I think that likely means with how much aggro their deck has that we're not gonna be able to stabilize quite high enough. Yo.
Protect the Empress.
So this, if I replace an enchantment, costs, I get a refund basically. So I could put this over here and then actually play both parries. I don't know if that's worthwhile though.
Fortune favors us.
I have to burn something.
Yes.
I have 4 cards left here. I have like Agile. Yep. Did so. Our aggressive matchup doesn't seem particularly exciting with this deck. Maybe this is the tough part. I'm not a huge fan of multi-deck formats. And Mythgard actually plans to support a best of one with sideboard format for their tournament stuff at one point, but it's like, it's hard to know if a deck like this actually can translate well to the ladder, even though it did well in the tournament, because like the person that built this deck in their lineup could have very well had the plan like, oh, I'm just gonna ban aggressive decks that I could potentially be playing against. It's hard to know, like, hey, is this deck generically good, or was it, like, only okay because the person was able to ban out the matchups that suck for it? Catch you later, Cody.
Let's do this.
Burn the Horn, and I think I'm gonna play Trickster here, but I don't think I'm gonna activate it. Am I? I guess I could power this up. Just gonna pass. I want to trade these. If they don't trade in, I'm willing to trade in next turn. So, I guess I could like give it like the +2/+2. I have another Forked Lightning in hand tier. So anything I put down here that has 2 toughness or less is just gonna die. I guess we could coin out the parry. I don't hate that. Parry basically draws us 2, because she draws us 1, and then we divination a enchantment to the top of the deck. And then end of turn, our path draws it. Stop playing the mythic that divinations every turn. It's not. We should be playing that. I feel like we probably should. I think I want to play Insurrectionist and a 1-drop here. I think I want to burn an orange card.
Do we have a
I don't actually know how this works. It deals 2 non-combat damage to the defending minion. Does this just let it attack through and still hit my face here? If that's the case, this is not a good play. I don't actually know how this interaction functions. We get domed for 6 here. We're gonna find out. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. That card's really strong. The Forked Lightning being face up just like really doesn't give us any decent plays though, because all my blockers just get slaughtered by this. We're dead. Yeah, I'm gonna play. Someone asked earlier if we could play some tokens. I'm just gonna play some Triforge tokens. Most of these other decks we've played just haven't felt very good. Tokens deck is definitely my favorite deck in the game. I'm just trying to hit some variety, but I'm just not finding anything that really jives for me. We need 26 and 12 with this one. Very, very decent win rate. With 2 heirlooms, I'm gonna burn one of those. I was gonna burn the conviction, but I don't think I need 2 heirlooms to start.
Reporting.
So we're an aggressively slanted deck that wants to play out a bunch of things that play to the board. This creates 3 1/1s with focused. This, at the end of each turn, if we control more units than the opponent, gets bigger, makes all of our things in play bigger. That's pretty unfortunate. This card's so annoying.
We'll be right back following these commercials.
I'm gonna be honest, Penguin, I don't know what that card does offhand. That was a deck list I just copied from the top 8 of the tournament. This tree is really good. Oh, Thief of Sanity. Nah, just play it. There isn't really, that's a unique effect. Just like play a different card. Man, this board again is super annoying. I guess we need to get media auto cam going. So that way I can get so I can get some extra cards rolling. This card says every time we play a spell we gain an energy, and then every 4th energy we get to suppressing a Born Again doesn't have any impact on it, right? Because it has this text in the graveyard still after it dies. Pretty sure that's the case.
Reporting for duty. Reporting.
And then this card, even though it costs 0 resources, it needs 1 of each threshold here. So I can't play this turn because I don't have an extra green left over. Next turn. Next turn, however, we're gonna get to play this out and start pumping up the... Pump up the jam. Pump it up.
This is my weapon.
Our cannon air creature is pretty good. So the thing this gets replaced by can deal 2 damage to every minion that threatens this. So I don't really want to trade into here this turn, because it'll give them something they can activate next turn to kill all my stuff, which wouldn't be great. So end of this turn, everything I have gets 1/1 bigger, and then next turn it'll get bigger, and then the turn after that it'll get 1/1 bigger. Three turns in a row, as long as I control more units than them, everything on my board gets 1/1 bigger. Might have been right to burn this last turn for my second yellow. Just to get more resources together. I could have burned this and then, like, activated this instead.
Protect the Empress.
So if I tack this in here, it's only 3, and then 4, 5. I think I just do this and pass. And turn all of these get bigger. And now the drag down on this only does 2. So it doesn't kill these anymore.
Targets down.
Well, that kills all my stuff. You get one more turn of making everything bigger, so that's nice. So I could go ahead and burn this and say put this here,
Have a mission.
put this here,
We'll be right back.
put these out here. That was definitely their ideal card, but we're not just dead. A little bit more cards in hand than us, but Vengeful Heirloom's going to trigger this up to 3 energy, and then if we trade off whatever this is on, we can play it again and get to 4 and draw a card. This card comes back to our hand every time the thing that we put the bonus on dies. This trade here was actually pretty wrong for them because it gave us the state reparations this turn. Is this gets Defender until Sunrise? Okay, so Spellflux Cauldron was a clutch draw. So I get to go ahead and play this, which says whenever I play a spell, my things gain +1 attack until end of turn. And then I can Vengeful Heirloom. You can Vengeful Heirloom here. And then we could state reparations. Get back. Oh, I could actually get back Vengeful Heirloom. And then I could burn this. And I could Vengeful Heirloom here. And then this will trade here. And then this will hit here, and this will hit here, and we put them to 1. There's no reason to attack this into here, really. I guess I could get, like, a power-up. Get rid of it. Not bad considering we got, like, Get Angel a hot second ago. The recovery power in this deck is really good. Being able to reassemble your big board after they sweep you out a little bit.
Covering fire!
You seek wisdom. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite Mythgard deck. It's a shame we don't have a spell. Oh, I made my Vengeful Heirloom ephemeral when I brought it back to my hand. That was probably a mistake, huh? I was like, where's my Vengeful Heirloom? I made it ephemeral.
What happens to me?
That explains where that went. And this has Lurker. So by putting this here, this can't kill this. They have to hit this.
Do we have a mission?
It's fine. We're still in an okay spot. This is going to pick back up a thing next turn if they don't draw a good top deck here. They find a way to... If they kill this, we might be in trouble. I forgot that the state reparations make the thing they pick up ephemeral, which means it goes away after you play it, so you can't just keep reparationing the same thing over and over again, which is good design, but it slipped my mind. Honestly, I probably should have put this one here to have my things spread out a little bit more to make it more difficult to block everything this turn.
Fall out.
Thank you.
Deployed.
It's a pretty good one. So I can pick Academy recruits back up here.
Reporting for duty.
I technically missequenced here. This would be one bigger if I had sequenced better. Oh, these are short on being able to kill this. I think I should probably crunch in here though, right? It'll trigger my reparations on this for next turn, and getting this to 1 seems valuable. Although I guess they're gonna get to heal it with this. Again, don't want to trade here because this has Lurker, and if they don't have a way to kill this and then kill this turn, she'll generate another state reparations, which will let me pick something else back up. Wait, where didn't I have a... How did Triforge Allegiance get banished? Oh, my hero power banishes the bottom card, right. It's been a hot second. I need plenty of blockers to deploy here, which is scary. This thing makes a lot of dorks. And so we still got some grind in us. This is going to make us another state reparations, which means that we'll get to trigger this to draw another card. This is going to make us another Forgeling. Hopefully we'll be able to kill this turn. A perfect world. That feels ambitious. Oh, they're giving this Defender. So if they give this Defender... Man, I can't kill this now either. It's brutal. Just draw a card here. Is that lethal? That's lethal on this, right? Yeah, nice. Gives you Slayer and Overrun. Let's just steal games like this where they start to stabilize behind units. That, finishing multiple missions at the same time too, it's just good value. Good clean value. No other plays seems good for us. So let's burn this and put Venom Fang Mutant here. This is a mechanic called Focus, so it deals an extra damage to the thing right in front of it. So I want to deploy this kitty corner, so that way I take 1 less damage when I attack. Alright, so they get a bonus to let them trade into my thing here, but this is blighted, so it means at the start of the turn it's going to get -1/-1, so it is eventually going to die. So I feel like we accomplished our primary goal here. I'm gonna burn the ring for now. I might want Vengeful Heirloom down the line.
Reporting for duty.
This is going to turn into an 0-1 here, so I can't attack in and trade with this unless they have another sort of power-up. I'm one spell away from drawing another card with the drawing a card with the media autocam. If we hit a different orange card to burn, I want to hold on to this because this is a repeatable spell that'll let me draw multiple cards with this, which is great. Remember we were talking about Night's Whisper and a start, they're giving us Sign in Blood, that's sweet. So I can Triforge here. And then I can do this and this still. Yeah, I agree. I don't understand mechanically what's going on with the rules of Mythgard, that's how that interaction works, but it is what it is, I suppose. Another auto cam sounds great on top, so I can burn a second green. I'm gonna go ahead and just trade these off. No reason to trade this off here because this is gonna die to Blight, and I don't want this to die. Buffing all of them or none of them would make the most sense. The fact that it only buffs one of them is super strange.
Watch me fly! Watch the net! Watch me fly! Watch the net!
Alright, so this has 2 more turns. I have 2 more turns of everything I have getting 1/1 bigger.
Right back following
So I want to prioritize putting units out this turn so that way I can get the most benefit out of my Triforge Alliance here. Yeah, them taking a turn to just draw cards here is really good for us. What would we like to draw next turn? Just anything that puts extra units on the board, basically.
Let's feed.
Demise, deal 3 damage to your opponent and each minion that threatens this. Rude. It's a big draw. So I kind of want to use this turn. That way it gets bigger from my last Triforge thing. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this here. Give this Overwhelm and Crunch over. It also means this is now... That trade means that this now has... We can avoid getting Magmatar next turn. That would be ideal. If they Magmatar over here, we could maybe be in a little bit of trouble. Ignition to kill that. Yeah. Denying us our reparations. That's pretty rough. So this says, whenever you create your second unit in a turn, draw a card. That's probably worth playing. We're obviously not going to do it this turn, but it'll give us some card advantage to get through the rest of this game. So like next turn we could go Rotary Forgeling plus our power even to guarantee draw an extra card. And they're at 11 at this point. 7. So yeah, definitely feels like they're not going to be able to recover from here. So we do that. That draws us a card. Burn an orange card. Maybe I should keep that one actually, because it gives overwhelm. Could be right. Maybe it's right to burn this. I kind of need a second orange though. D, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. Okay. We're fighting to stabilize a little bit here.
What happens to me?
See our grind power going to work with things like duality. Huh? So this gives armor 2 and warded. So let's go spell cauldron into circle of protection. This is gonna die to blight, but then this won't die to the extra trigger on this, which is great. And then we'll vengeful heirloom here, which powers these up, so we can kill this and that trade. We can hit them for 4 here. I don't think I want to burn anything to draw a card. This doesn't take any damage because warded means it doesn't take non-combat damage. Knocking those missions out. Hippity pop, the fun don't stop.
Reporting.
Disc. Probably a reanimator style deck. Let's see if we can dodge a born again for the first time today. It's a terribly scary one. Start's not particularly impressive, but it's fine too. So like next turn, you can like burn this, play like a jamming satellite. Never lucky, chat. Never lucky. Do that just to push damage here, I think. Want to get ahead on board as much as possible and get the Triforge Alliance down to start pumping up the jam.
What is lost?
Okay, so with this play, when this dies, it returns the strongest minion, or the bottom minion in their boneyard to play. So I want to play this because it lets me suppress this, which wipes all the text off of it. Then go ahead and do that, and then kill this, and then nothing comes back. And then I think we're gonna go ahead and burn this and drop this. There's where I put those. And then next turn we can go Forgeling, Power, Triforge. which is nice.
This is my weapon.
That's actually a decent draw too. I could do that in addition to everything else. So I could do this. And go hit you. And put this here. And do this. Draw a card. Ooh, that's a good one too. Am I into the auto game at this point? Yeah, I probably don't mind burning for... Yeah, I'm gonna take a random instead. All my things get +1/+1. They'll get +1/+1 each turn for the next 2 turns. I'll get to drop the Olam ring next turn to give everything +1/+1 that's already in play. I'm spending 2 resources to heal here. Feels like a big win for us. It's very annoying, but like at the same time, like we've beaten it every time we played against it today, so like it's definitely on the annoying side, but I don't know that I'd call it broken or anything like that. He used to come back at the start of turn. Now that sounds offensive. End of turn. My team grows. Smite and Infuse are the aggro powers, sporadic. Depending on how creature-based you are. Infused, if you're pretty creature-based, lets you have some more flexibility inside of combat. You can, like, trade your weaker units up into their bigger ones on occasion in addition to pushing damage. My opponent's colors, we could get Terminal Calculus this turn. Calculus actually wraths our board, which would be pretty bad for us. So we've got one more turn of everything we have getting bigger. I actually almost said the words conviction is lethal here. Is it actually lethal? I think so. So if I do this here, it's not quite, right? I'll make another Dorko here, because they're going to get bigger at end of turn again. Hey, Deebs, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. So we could get Get Angeled here. Get an Angel is their card to get back in here. It's a 7 mana, destroy all the things. No Get an Angel, no problem. I'm going to run to the restroom really quick. When I get back, we're going to be playing some more Mythgard, so don't go anywhere. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Yeah, we completed a mission too. Collect my coins. Almost done with that one as well. was, wait, actual factual Blue Sun Zenith? I would love the Zenith Cyclone Historic. That'd be sweet. I assume that's, is that one of the mystical cards? Or is it an actual set card? It's a mystical card, I assume, right? One of the archives? I really would hate to play against actual counter spells, so please no. It's an archive, sweet. Man, we probably are gonna do historic for the next Toglandia Open. I have a feeling like we're gonna get at least a handful of sweet archives. And historic's just more fun than standard in general.
I don't even work out. Whoa, in here.
How do I want to sequence this? I feel like I want to set myself up to Ola Ring on 4 after I Academy recruit. Think I want to start auto cam? I don't know. I kind of think I want to do this to start. Just like get some blocks going. I think I want to burn this into this. I mean, is this a matchup where I really need to like get cards going if there's something super aggressive? I guess I could pivot. I guess I could media cam plus clay effigy this turn. Oh, that's a good observation. They are playing Mend here. Huh. I think you're right. Mend's a good catch. Men's a super good observation on their power. They could just be playing this as a cheap anti-aggro tool. And this path is a little bit weird for an aggro deck, right? In general. This is a weird card for... This is a weird card for a, what's it called, deck to be playing. Okay, so... I think I want to go... this into this. And then next turn, I can burn a green card, maybe even this, and go this. Oh, jeez. Yarnivirus is really good against me. Well... think I wait on this for now? Until this gets out of here.
Do we have a mission?
Oh shit. If I do that, I can't do this. I just completely foobarred this whole game.
What happened to me?
So I'll do these now. Definitely messed this game up real bad with my my sequencing here. It's like doing one thing in my head, and then I clicked another thing on the actual game board.
Do I make you sick?
Alright, well, I mean, they're giving me state reparations, I guess. So that's nice. Okay, so with this draw, I think I actually want to blight Zoella here. I think I want to pick this up so I can burn it. Zoella is a lurker. It's a good catch. This is still gonna go kill this next turn. Man, am I doing this turn? I feel like I need to just to get the thresholds in, huh? Oh, I didn't have more units than them. Fuck. Yeah, this whole game's just been a disaster. The giant hodgepodge disaster. It'll be really impressive for our deck if we manage to win this game. Just like every turn I've missequenced or miscounted something that's been detrimental. You know how you can tell we're having a real shit time? They elected to not play. They burned their misanthropia against our deck. It's usually how you can tell that our deck's in a bad spot.
For duty.
Another minion is created, gain a life, sure. Okay, so we can ring. We can heirloom. Kill that. This can slide over to here. So these trade in combat. I can draw a card. I haven't burned anything yet. I'm only gonna end up getting one trigger off of this. It's just so bad.
Reporting.
That being said, like, the media auto cam and these vengeful heirlooms might actually drag us kicking and screaming through this game. Just pretty impressive.
Okay, on site.
Feel like if we manage to win this game, it's a huge testament to how strong our deck is.
Hogan, inactive.
It's another media auto cam. Okay. So I have 4 resources left here. Do I want a mold of duality? Yeah, probably, right? Lets me grind okay. This is threatening to kill us is the problem. I probably should have put, yeah, I messed this, God, I messed this game up again. I should have, wait, what?
Vulcan on site.
Oh, they're just assuming I'm gonna kill this. Okay, well, that's good for us. I was gonna die because I wasn't gonna be able to get through this, but. But there's no units near her. Lurker doesn't matter in this instance. I know I missed Lurker earlier, but it doesn't matter right now.
Do we have a mission?
Can we win this game in spite of myself?
Vulcan inactive.
That going to 7 is huge. This thing's about to flip up and get bigger too. Let's grab another forgeling here. Play this. Little jamming satellites, not bad. Play this. Draw a card. Almost powered through this game. And I messed up a lot. Does satellite kill Holokins? I thought I remember that not being the case. Now I don't remember. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't understand. Harpy kills Holocons. Okay. I think we're dead here. That was impressive how long we held on despite the fact that I, made infinite mistakes that game. From playing out my Triforge at a point where it only worked 1 out of 3 times to, burning the wrong card. That distinction seems very silly and arbitrary. I believe you that that's correct. That distinction seems, especially considering the harpy kills them. That feels like a silly distinction. Intuitively, that doesn't feel like that's how it should work, which usually means it's a bad interaction. Of like, intuitively your players can't look at something and go, oh, this isn't how this works, based on like someone who's played the game as much as I have, like, can't look at it and go, oh, this is how this works intuitively. It's probably worth reconsidering how it works. They're probably a control deck, so I think I probably want to get auto cam going here so we can generate some card advantage with that. I mostly just think the suppress and the harpy should work the same in that instance, Quiodal. So either they should change suppress to work like the harpy, or vice versa. They should either make harpy worse or make suppress better in the instance of Holokins. Would mostly be my expectation. So we're burning that. I'm gonna drop War Documentarian and then the Recruit over here.
Do we have a mission?
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pass. Make them attack in. This gets 1/1 in Region 3 if they have a desert. So if they drop a desert, this card actually gets pretty scary. Like 4/5 Region 3 for 3. It's like pretty good stat line.
This is my weapon.
Spell's worth playing yet. Just kind of awk.
Reporting for duty.
Reporting.
I'm gonna not attack into this, because if I attack into this, the thing it leaves behind can activate next turn and deal 2 to everything, which isn't great for me.
Protect the Empress. What fuck?
Well, we can get something big enough to not die to this. Does it have armor? It does not. Okay, so I can crunch this into here for 3. And I can crunch this in to finish it off. And I can crunch this in here and we get set up to reparations again next turn, which is nice. I think I want to put something in front of this, so this way, they have to use the drag down and they can't attack this directly. So I'm not going to get to draw with model here, but we'll start drawing the following turn, which is nice. We're one spell away from this starting to trigger, which is good. So just like for the record, Terminal AP, I'm not positing that that Mythgard is like bugged, or I'm not positing that it's like not working as intended. Like, I assume that the card's working exactly as it's programmed to, but like I'm just saying that the way it's programmed to work and the way you expect it to work, if you've played a bunch, don't really line up. Which I would argue is probably not great. Yeah. So if we do this here, we get to draw a card from the model. A little bit shy of being able to do that. This is going to die to this turn. That's like not too big of a deal. I think we're burning another orange card here. You usually want to spread your thresholds out pretty evenly in this deck. Vengeful Heirloom can be nice. I don't want to attack this in because I want to make them use this. That way they can't attack me with this turn. I guess positioning these over here means this gets to kill 2 of them, but if I put them over here, the drag down on this kills them, so it's about the same. Probably still better to put these here.
Step aside.
We're looking for like a Spell Cauldron or a Triforge Allegiance or one of our Olim rings to be able to power up our Dorkos here. It's not terrible. Let's do this. We could Conviction here. Get rid of that. Gun Academy Recruits to draw a card. Honestly, do we just like state preparations, the war documentarian back? Probably, right? Let's just draw a card here as well. Road equipment on here. Not be unreasonable. Means if we just like stay out of these lanes here, it gets weaker. And it means if they like want to move this down over here to chase my things down, this gets much worse.
Pale as the morning.
Deals damage to your opponent and all enemy minions equal to its strength when it dies. Well, shit. I do always forget Blast. Suppress him before I kill you. That means I'm not attacking this turn, though, which is awkward. That's another thing I've talked about that I wish was different. The fact that all of these forgelings have different keywords on them is very mentally taxing for very little gains. Yeah, fires. All of the fires things should have the same keywords on all of the forgelings, in my opinion. It doesn't really make sense for them to all rotate through all these different things the way they do. Let's start here and see what we get.
We'll be right back following these commercials.
Okay. Okay. Alright, that means that they can't kill this. I get to get state reparations next turn, which will be nice. I'm not talking about from a power level perspective, Terminal. I'm talking about from a consistency while playing. It's like this, for example. I think this card is sweet game design, but from a player mental capacity standpoint of things you have to track while playing Mythgard, it's very extra. It's like one of those things where I definitely wouldn't say this is too strong, but I would say, is this something that's like easily trackable for your players? Definitely not. We get to do this, which triggers the spell cauldron again. And then I get to kill this. Just grinding them into the dirt here. That's pretty good. Okay. Opponent's like kinda crawling back in here, but you gotta remember that every time I put 2 units down or play 4 spells, I draw a card, so.
We'll be right back following these commercials.
I'll drop this one out just to get some pressure going. All of our many artifacts. What's the artifact limit, by the way? Am I at the limit? I know there's a certain number of these that you can have. What is it? Can I play this one here? That's 5. We're at the limit. Got it. Yeah, we're gonna do this and do this. That powers these up. I think they're dead. We're so close. Slow and steady. The artwork's always been enough for you on the Forgelings. Yeah. There's too many things to track. I'm sure if you play like a ton of only Mythgard, it's probably not difficult to track it all, but like as someone who like I basically play Mythgard casually, like I only play, you know, 4, 5, 6 hours a week tippy tops. And things like that, having those things be identifiable easily is good for more casual players.
I don't even work out.
I definitely think if like Mythgard was my only game and I was playing it, you know, double-digit hours per week, I agree it probably wouldn't be a big deal. It'd be very easy to keep track of and not worry about the artwork. The artwork representing different keywords makes a lot of sense, and if I was looking at them enough and playing like this deck enough, and honestly, that's part of the thing why I'm really glad they're going to add sideboard tournament formats to this game. I think if the tournament 2 weekends ago now, or last weekend, whatever it was, had been a single deck format tournament, I probably would have had this memorized by now and wouldn't be making that mistake, because I would have been able to identify them by artwork like you're talking about. If I had been, because like not only do I only play 5 or 6 hours a week, but I only play 5 or 6 hours a week And I was trying to spread that time across finding 3 different decks. So I was playing, you know, like half a dozen decks to find 3 that I like. And it was really tough to focus on any given one. I don't really feel like I was adequately... That was part of the reason why I dropped after losing the first round. Because I didn't feel like I was adequately prepared because of how much it takes to adequately prepare for an event like that with multiple decks. Oh, they have the armor ability. I didn't think about that at all. I was thinking they could do this and pump it. I forgot that armor beats blight. Oh, well, that works well. Nailed it, chat. Never didn't have it. Okay, so I probably want to Grigoli protocol this at some point. So I think I'm going to burn this. I'm going to go ahead and media autocam corrode equipment here. And then we drop this over here. And then next turn we can protocol this to get rid of it. Yeah, in fact, one of the things I like most about the last couple of sets in Mythgard is, as someone who, like, got destroyed by their own winter season on Turn of the Winter, I'm really glad they added, like, 3 other paths that, like, mid-range decks can play reasonably. Because, like, in set 1, Turn of the Season was, like, the de facto go-to, I'm a mid-range deck, this is the path that I play. And I just messed it up all the time. There's just, like, no excuse for it. I just, like, constantly flubbed it. So, like, being able to, like, play a mid-range deck and not have to worry about flubbing that is nice. Alright, so protocol here is going to mean this goes away, which is nice. I'll get to draw a card, but that's fine. Let's burn the media autocam here. They activated this, so I don't want to attack with this because it'll go away. Okay, go ahead and drop this here in the middle.
Do we have a mission?
And then next turn, we're potentially set up to go Forgeling, Recruits, and Triforge Alliance. Get got on turn after 1,000 hours, yeah. And it's one of those things too, like, you know, we talk about how in any card game there isn't such a thing as, like, perfect play, right? Like, most people, when they play card games, it's not the only thing they're doing, especially on the computer, right? So, like, I'm streaming and talking to you all in chat. You folks at home are probably watching streams or watching a TV show, or, you know, you have family or kids or whatever, significant others in the background. It's very rare that, like, 100 doing work. Yeah, it's very rare that, like, 100% of your focus is on the game that you're playing. Man, I think we're dead here, unfortunately. I don't have enough oomph to get enough things into play here to trigger my Triforge Alliance this turn. And it feels like that means I'm just too far behind. Because, like, I can't Ring and Alliance next turn. And all their things are just going to outsize mine here. What are the odds the next suit's going to be a Starak? I'm leaning towards yes. Borgie. I'm leaning towards it. Looking at the first batch of spoiler cards today and realizing how many of them I was saying, yeah, that's probably not standard playable until rotation, makes me think we should probably do historic for the sake of variety. Ooh, Mythic Yellow wild card. Nice. I'm all the way through. Nice. Would you want the next Hoots tournament to be historic versus standard? I actually did post a poll. I posted a poll in the subs Discord and on Twitter, and it was like 70% in favor of historic in both places, which is like the least close a 2-option poll I've ever posted has been.
Reporting.
Well, that's terrifying. Well, if they have a good reanimator draw, we might just die. Does have armor? That's blast. We have like a pretty okay linear draw ourselves here.
Do we have a mission?
I aim to please Wargate.
What is lost?
Yeah. That's a necromantic.
Reporting for duty.
I guess I just pass here because I want them to have to kill this on their turn so they can't attack with this. Because if I trade in, they'll get to attack with this right away. It's a pretty nutty draw for the opponent. This has blast, which means it's going to get to crunch through my mini Dorkos here. Let me go ahead and blade this. Slowly whittle our way through it. This will attack and kill these two. Oh, right. That's how blast works. It kills all three because it hits in the middle. Vomit. I wasn't thinking about it hitting there. Blast isn't a mechanic that comes up a lot. You're correct. It should have gone over here so I didn't lose 3 things.
Project initiated.
Yeah, I think we're good. Not gonna beat turn four monster without removal in our deck. Oh yeah, that's a good thought. I could have also attacked and just traded it off. We're gonna lose it anyways. Man, this is super unfortunate. I did. We were just talking about that one. It's a sweet card for Black Devotion and other things. Man, we don't have any plays on turn 2 at this hand either. God bless you. God bless you, little mutant. What a lovely terp deck. It's been a while since we've had an awkward hand like this. Usually we have a pretty good mix of things. Pretty unfortunate to get no cheap units going early.
Technically, I'm a tortoise.
Actually, just have no plays. Could technically try Forge Alliance. Is that a play I'm making? Man, that doesn't seem good. I think it's the play. Yeah, we could try Forge and Reconstruct. It's better than just like not using our resources, right? The problem is if we don't draw something to make a unit next turn and they just like deploy Tree of Life and something else. You know, I probably should have put this here so that way I could threaten this lane. Because if they go unit, I'm going to need to draw something that makes multiple units or I'm going to lose out on this. Feels like there's a good chance they go thing because of how I position my unit. Really want to draw our academy recruits here. Oh, this is actually great for us. So I could put Conviction here. And then this kills this. And then Conviction gives me a card in the bin to do this with. So I get to trigger my thing again end of turn because I still have more units than them. So that's nice. All right, we got 2 triggers out of it. With these Vengeful Heirlooms here, we might be able to pressure them out of the game, especially with this having Overwhelm at the moment. Overrun at the moment. Only taking 2 in combat, super annoying. Come on, just any unit deck. Such bad beats. I think I'm giving up a Vengeful Heirloom to make sure I get one more trigger out of my thing. Oh, I could make a Forgeling. Yeah, that's a good thought. That's probably a little bit better. I don't know. I push some damage this way. As I haven't made any yet. I could have ringed into Forgeling there. Ring into Forgeling's probably better because that also pushes damage, right? Yeah, ring into Forgeling was better for sure. Okay, that's like gonna infect this, but we might just kill them with these 3, right? With Ring plus Heirloom. We draw a burnable card here. This is gonna be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I believe they're dead if we draw a burnable card here. Okay, I think I counted that right. I think we had 1 over. Oh no, I need oh, ring makes a Forgeling you can burn, right? The Forgelings being burnable is one of the things of this game that catches me too. I think ephemeral cards being burnable is very silly. Especially because some of them are burnable and some of them aren't. Yeah, Conviction's very good. Conviction, going up to 3 Convictions and 3 of the Vengeful Heirloom felt like the missing pieces in this deck. Like the core I started with from Discord felt really close, and those 2 felt like they put it up over the top. Yeah, yeah, burn spell most of the time is exactly accurate. It's like a burn spell removal spell split card. Like having all these mopey 1/1s that get to trade up because of it is huge. Yes, yeah, exactly. I think ideally none of the ephemeral cards should be burnable. I think can't burn this card should just be part of the ephemeral text box. Little things like that for like consistency's sake go a long way, I think, towards making the game more accessible to muscle memory and making it easier to learn for new people. Mythgard's pretty intuitive in a lot of ways in general, so like I think the fact that so much of it is intuitive makes the little things like that kind of stand out more, if that makes sense. You're like, well, normally this all makes sense, but this one just doesn't. I hit level 25 too. So fancy, chat. It's a token copy of the actual card, so it mirrors burnability. That makes sense. Yeah, correct, Q Yuri. All of those little things where you have to like every time you have. I feel like an edge case like that has to add a lot of value from a play perspective to be worthwhile. Because every time you add another thing like that where it's like, oh, that doesn't always work that way. I've got to remember in this case it doesn't. If it's not a lot of upside, it's like not worth doing. Oh, that's really weird. Some copies can be burned and some can't. That's super awkward. Got a live one. This is usually a control deck, I think. Usually the Rebellion Safe House is more controlling, so I think I'm burning the Alliance on one, and getting auto cam going against a control deck is usually a good place to be. Could definitely be a hand where we end up like holding this to actually play to draw 3 down the line. Oh, you know what? I should put my second copy of this back in the deck. I split this with Cornucopia because I wanted to play a copy of Revelations in a different deck that I was playing in the best of the Conquest format.
We'll be right back following these commercials.
Might be wrong to play this out on it naked on the board, But as lurker too, so I just like deploy something here next to it could be okay. Red.
Watch me fly!
That's a beating. That's Spellflux Cauldron. Not at this point. I have this as a burnable green card, and I don't have...
What happens to me?
I don't have things on my board that play to it. Okay. It's decent for us. So, like, my 1/1 gets to trade with their 3/1 here. I need to get clean up on board here a little bit. Nice. That's a decent draw. So I can burn the ring here. Get my second. Working towards this. I can do this. I can deploy this. I can activate my power for the turn. Bit by bit. And then next turn, we probably burn the Circle of Protection and draw 3 3.25 cards. So it'll give us a point towards this as well. And then hopefully this will give us plenty of spells to fuel the auto cam down the line here. We're a little bit on board. Opponent's been mono red so far, so probably got to worry about Magmatar at some point. But
Hey, pay up.
generally speaking, not sweepers other than that in their colors. Purple does not add sweeper potential, so still mostly Magmatar. Giga Machina is a card that they can be playing too that gets things that are 4 or more toughness. That's a pretty good one. I'm gonna slide this down for sure to get in the way of that. And I think I actually want to slide this one down too, so that way if they kill this to try and save this, I can like Vengeful Heirloom here. They like pump +3/+3 into this. Well, I guess this is not ideal because like if they what's the word I'm searching for? If they like Crimson Pact this or something, then they could just eat this. Interesting. Coxinga is very good. That explains this power here. Coxinga creates a spell called Born in Cruelty, which deals damage to be equal to its health -1, which that combined with this lets them kill anything for 5 mana, basically. Thanks, Upwind. Yeah, Jim, working with Jim was great. He is a professional. Okay, so let's do this.
We'll be right back following these commercials.
And then we can heirloom here, hit this. I can slide this down. Let's draw with this and see what we get. I haven't burned anything yet for the turn. I think we're burning the recruit here. I'm going to go ahead and play second auto cam. Then I'm going to go ahead and put Clay Effigy down over here as well, in case they want to kill this. I'm assuming we're going to see them use 5 mana to kill this. Depends on how much they think they care about. They might think they can just outgrind the state reparations, but the card's pretty good with 2 media auto cam especially. Trixie Witch Glare. Thanks for the follow, by the way, if you're still here. Sorry, I missed that one a couple minutes ago. Oh, I forgot this asshole also kills my artifacts.
To your left.
All right. That's enough for me. We're done here. Okay. That guy's real good. All right. That's going to be it for me for this afternoon. I'm going to go grab some lunch. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some more Magic the Gathering, and then we're going to be doing some more Nier Automata tomorrow afternoon. So I'll catch all of y'all around later. Everybody stay safe out there. Peace, folks.